There is nothing like a full Sunday where you're just a lazy bum on your couch while your diet consists of chips, chicken wings, pizza, and soda for a whole about 16 hours or so. That, my friends, is the NFL season. From watching your team slip you into an unlimited season-long depression over and over because they can't get the ball past the line of scrimmage, all the way up until your boy, whose team won the Super Bowl last year, has to call you numerous times over and over to remind you how much your team sucks because it's the only way he can compensate for his lack of masculinity. Or even the fantasy season where you decided to draft Kyle Pitts in round 5 because you still believe that there's hope. The 3-page long injury reports of yet another Tua Tagovailoa concussion. To watching our favorite comedy show called The Dallas Cowboys while Jerry Jones casually burns his entire franchise to the ground. Instances of just being a Bears fan and having to hear it casually over and over that this is their year. Spoiler, it isn't. We cover it all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pick 6. Ladies and gentlemen, football is back, and that means so is your mother's favorite football podcast, The Pick 6. We have a brand new season for you guys with new games, new segments, and a fantastic content piece in preparation for the 2025-2026 NFL season. As always, my name is Yusuf Shaban. I'm joined by the usual suspects.
Isaiah.
Boys.
And Naoki.
What's up, guys?
And we have an all-new member to the team. Some call him a football savant. Some call him a genius. Some call him the next Max Kellerman. I just call him a dumb fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, Magicity.
What's going on, guys? It's a pleasure to be here. And let's get the show rolling.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, Magid. Who's your team?
So I'm a
How
big
old are
Eagles
you?
fan.
Where do you live?
So
Social security number.
I live in the dips of shit of downtown LA under the freeway. I'm a diehard Eagles fan. You know, fuck the Chiefs. I love the Eagles, but I just love football in general. Let's get this.
Yes, sir. We got
There we
another
go.
Eagles fan.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Naoki. Another
So Zay,
Let's
you
go.
and I are officially outnumbered.
Yeah.
Some of you are wondering, why are you on Zoom, Yusuf? The 3 others that are currently in the studio have contracted the Zika virus, and I am staying away from them as much as possible.
That's so funny. Fucking knee slapper.
Hilarious.
I'm just kidding. I no longer live in California. I am a virgin, or whatever they call Virginia residents now. So this is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. So get used to it. Anyway, we got some great stuff for you guys today. Starting off with a wide receiver tier list. We got a quick game surrounded wide receivers. And speaking of receivers, we're going to talk a little bit about the Terry McLaurin saga in Washington right now. We'll transition a little bit into talking about Micah Parsons and his trade request. And the foreseeable future, and as well as the overall contract landscape of the NFL, including players sitting out for preseason and training camp and trying to work their way through navigating their contracts. First of all, let's get started on the wide receiver tier list, ladies and gents. Zay?
Yeah. So for these episodes leading into the NFL season, we're going to focus on, if you tuned in last year, we did our unanimous rankings, 1 through, I think we did 1 through 15 for QBs. We did 1 through 30 for wide receivers, so on and so forth. This year, we're switching it up a little bit. We're doing tier lists, and we're going to be doing like a pyramid-style tier list.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, we have our 1, who's at the top of the pyramid, 2, 3, so on and so forth. The bottom one is kind of like your solid position player, nothing crazy, but we have 9 slots for that one. This is also not necessarily fantasy focused. This is more so just on the game itself, what we think of the receiver talent-wise, their situation. Some of it is a little bit contributed to what they do for fantasy, obviously, because that's a big part of football still. But yeah, we have our unanimous Street Logic wide receiver tier list for the 2025-2026 NFL season. We're going to start from top to bottom, talk about each player briefly. You guys know the deal. Yusuf, why don't you start us off with the top of the pyramid? Who's our best receiver in the NFL?
Well, our best receiver in the NFL, following last season's incredible performance in the Triple Crown, um, Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
I think this was a no-brainer for all of us. Um, I wouldn't want to say it like that. I think a couple of us, including myself, really truly believe that Justin Jefferson is, in terms of ability, the best wide receiver in the league. However, you can't deny what Jamar Chase did last year, considering that he and Joe Burrow put that team on their back. You can't deny what Jamar Chase did last season. I think he was arguably in the conversation for MVP as well, considering what he did last year. So, if anybody wants anything to add on Jamar Chase, feel free. The floor is yours. But I don't know if there's much else we can say.
I mean, picking the best wide receiver in football is, in my opinion, it's probably one of the more difficult positions to rank. It's not like a quarterback who, the quarterback he's running the game practically offensively. It's not like the running back who kind of has their own side of the offense. They offer the other side. It's receiver. You are very dependent, not just on your quarterback. You're dependent on your offensive coordinator, your coaches. You're dependent on who you match up with weekly, especially the corner side of it. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. So I think it's really difficult to find who the best receiver is in football when you have guys like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson to talk about, as well as the other names that we have on this list. But like you said, it's too hard to deny not only the numbers that he put up, but also what he was fighting for. We have the contract situation and everything that was going behind that. Obviously, the Bengals' rough season, So
Horrible year.
I just think with all of it added up, it would be too unfair to not have him as the best receiver in football, especially considering what he did in fantasy. So, what do you guys think?
No denying that. I had it the same way. Obviously Justin Jefferson. We mentioned that earlier. A lot of us think, overall he is the best receiver, but kind of like you're saying, going with the year that Jamar had, obviously with the horrendous O-line that Joe Burrow had, the horrendous defense they had, you can't argue those numbers.
Pretty much. Naoki, do you want to give us the first receiver in the second tier of our pyramid?
Ooh, now
I wonder who it is.
It's one of two. It is one of two guys, and we're gonna go with AJ Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles in that second tier. It really, I mean, you guys know we picked Jamar as tier one.
Mm-hmm.
You guys obviously that kind of bumps down Justin Jefferson in the tier two category, but whoever that second guy in that second tier is a little up in the air. There's kind of a pool of guys that can kind of take that spot in this category. But AJ Brown, I mean, he's been consistent ever since he's been an Eagle. Of course, he has his injury concerns with his hamstring and everything, but just coming off of a Super Bowl winning season.
This might be a spicy one for some people, bro.
I understand that, but you're gonna have to try to step up to me and Magic, to knock this guy off this tier, because we know this is a.
Well, I had him here too as well.
No, I'm saying, but anybody else that wants to contend, I mean, you're gonna have to put up a pretty good argument. And look, all credit to the guys underneath this, and you guys will hear that in a second. But AJ Brown, considering the team success that he just had, and given the guys that are in these first three tiers, a lot of people might say that he has quote unquote like the worst throwing quarterback among this pool of wide receivers, right? Like, he still puts up numbers. He's a yards after the catch machine. He gets open. He's a one-on-one machine. I think I forgot who brought it up, the stat in our meeting.
Oh no, him in single coverage.
It's insane.
Yeah, I believe
He's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, he was the highest graded wide receiver in single coverage situations. I think it was like 95.6 or something like that. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's from Pro Football Reference. And then I think over the last 3 years, he's also led the NFL in that category. So single coverage, there isn't a better wide receiver than AJ Brown. But
you can also refer to the clip of Darius Slay saying that he lines up one-on-one purposely every time.
What I think will always hold AJ Brown back from being the best wide receiver in the NFL is the other factors that go into it. It's the offensive line. It's the running back. You got Saquon Barkley over there. It's Devontae Smith on the other side of things. It's the Dallas Goedert at tight end. Like, I think those are the things that will always hold AJ Brown back. But the reason why I think he's a tier 2 wide receiver is because of his single coverage statistics. Just purely off of that, I think he's pretty much earned the right to be here,
Yeah.
even though it's a spicy name.
I had him tier 2. Obviously, for another big reason is just seeing the Eagles' success. Obviously, everyone's talking about like look at the team we got. We got Saquon, you got Devontae, all this. But if you really look at the stats, the Eagles, when Jalen Hurts' record without and with AJ Brown, and let alone the Eagles itself, is
I've seen that
humongous
before. Yeah,
difference. Obviously, you guys probably seen those charts back and forth. And this is something for the viewers. I want you guys to kind of chime in on this. I'm not mad with a 1A, 1B with CeeDee Lamb and AJ. I know a lot of people probably had CeeDee Lamb there at that third best receiver, but kind of like the points you made, obviously with all the stats and everything, that's kind of where I had AJ there. But I'm just wondering what the fans think about that.
I think that second receiver in tier 2 is probably the hardest receiver on this entire list
100%.
to kind of grade. I don't know, Yusuf, give me your thoughts on AJ Brown, because obviously I don't even think we need to say it, but Justin Jefferson is the other tier 2 wide receiver. But what are your thoughts on AJ Brown? Do you think he's deservedly a tier 2 wide receiver in the NFL?
I think in terms of route running, he's arguably the best receiver in the NFL. And I told you guys when we were discussing this pyramid list, I think he's our second coming of Larry Fitzgerald in terms of consistency. I think his reliability on the field, his winning factor that he brings to the team, the way he runs routes, the lack of drops that he has,
The way he reads
I think
books.
it's that too.
On the side, but
Just all those factors that he brings to the team. I think that winning culture that is in Philly now is not primarily because of him, but definitely would not exist if it weren't for him. So that's what I think of AJ Brown. Now, obviously, I mean, when we're making this list, I was one of those folks that had CD up in tier 2 above him, but I was willing to make that sacrifice just because I genuinely do love AJ Brown as a player, and he deserves it. He's earned it for sure.
Want to give us tier 3, Imagine?
tier 3. Okay, starting obviously we were just talking about. So we got CeeDee Lamb there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we got Puka Nacua at the 3.
There's
It's a
one
tough
guy on
list.
that. There's one guy on there, and it's pretty obvious. There's one new face there that I think people are going to highly disagree with if you're listening to this. I don't know, man.
It's tough.
It's tough. We'll get to the other names that you could think of in tier 4, but any thoughts on CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown? Why are they not tier 2? Why are they tier 3? Any thoughts?
I think again, this is really just like a matter of pick your poison here, right? CeeDee Lamb, I think the explosive factor is missing from him. I think Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown both have him beat for speed, but his route running is incredible. I think his speed off the line is great. That's in terms of CeeDee Lamb, and I think. Naoki, you brought up the fact that A.J. Brown might have the worst throwing QB. I think CeeDee Lamb has the worst throwing QB. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know. Dak Prescott airs that shit out.
I don't give a fuck what he airs out. I'm going to air him out. Okay? He's ass. Dak is ass. So, CeeDee Lamb, what he's done with the Cowboys and his consistency despite their dumpster fire of an organization, it speaks volumes, and that's why I think many people would be right to have him in tier 2, but it is what it is. Like, this is what we agreed on.
I have a quick question for the panel. Do we think that the Cowboys adding George Pickens is going to make CeeDee Lamb a better wide receiver, or do you think it's going to maybe contribute to a little bit of not a fall off per se,
Bit of a decline.
kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like a decline, but like kind of like removing that, I guess, aura of being a top 5 wide receiver or even a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. The aura that comes along with that. Do you think that the addition of George Pickens is going to help or kind of mess with that?
I don't see a decline in it, because if you really think about it, as much as people you want to disagree or not, Brandon Cooks played phenomenal for the Cowboys when they had him. As old as he was still putting up numbers for the Cowboys. I'm not saying that trying to put George Pickens and obviously Brandon Cooks in the same tier, but I'm just saying I don't see where it kind of declines CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb is still their wide receiver 1. He's still going to get the same touches. Dak coming back, obviously, from injury, he's going to obviously have his rhythm with him. So I think CeeDee's still going to be,
The only reason I ask that is because when you look at CeeDee Lamb's game logs and you see the 20 target games, the 19, 18 target games, like he was kind of being treated like their running back in a sense.
Forcing it to him.
Yeah.
The offensive share that he had. So that's the only reason I beg the question is because of that addition
Hmm.
and how it might affect him. But what do we think of Amon-Ra St. Brown going into the season? Obviously, he's a tier 3 wide receiver. What are we thinking?
Naoki, I'll let you take that one, bro.
I mean, look, Amon-Ra St. Brown, since he's come into the league, has been nothing short of amazing. And obviously, that Lions' entire offense is a very high power when you have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the backfield. You have, even given his popularity on this show from all of last season, you still have Jamison Williams on the other side, and Sam Laporta having an extremely good rookie year, a very disappointing sophomore season, is still a top of the line tight end at the end of the day. And Jared Goff, since he's been traded to Detroit, has been a consistently good quarterback. He is we saw in some rankings, he's like a fringe top 6-7 QB
insane.
In the NFL. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is Jared Goff's main guy. And I think he's been nothing short of amazing. And obviously now, he's nothing short of talented. He's an extremely talented wide receiver. And now that kind of, to separate, I think, himself from a lot of these guys is now he kind of has to have a little bit of team success. I think he's been in Detroit for a little while now, and he has obviously a great chemistry with Jared Goff. Now he kind of needs to add a little bit of, take that next leap, get a little bit of team success, and I think that's what kind of put him in the discussions of your Jamar Chase's, your Justin Jefferson's conversations, because
I don't think that's a fair statement.
Why is that?
I don't think it's a fair statement because Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, neither one of them have had team success. I don't see.
Yeah, but they both.
The fuck are you talking about? The Vikings won like 14 games last year.
And then they got bounced in the wild card.
Yeah,
round.
But that's not.
But Jamar
that's
Chase has made a
besides-
Super Bowl.
But you see where I'm coming from. The Lions were the same exact way.
Yeah, but Jamar Chase has made a Super Bowl though. He's been
Yeah,
to a
but
Super Bowl.
I'm talking about. I said CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. So I don't see how team success plays a factor unless we're talking about Chase and AJ Brown. But Jefferson's ahead of St. Brown right now.
Right.
I think
We're
Jefferson's
talking-
ahead
But
of
Jefferson also
I don't
puts up
think-
like
I
out of
I
this
don't
world
think-
statistics.
I don't think team success should be the determining factor of whether a receiver plays better or not. I think when
it's
we're
not. It's not the reason why Justin Jefferson is where he is because just look at him.
Yep.
Watch him play football.
But that's you see where I'm coming from.
But if you watch Amon-Ra play
reason-
football, it's pretty fucking good too.
It's pretty fucking great. My thing is, I don't think he'll ever take that leap because of how good the pieces around him are.
Mm-hmm.
And now you may
that's
say,
what I
okay,
was contributing to AJ.
you may say
so
that's the
it's
same
fair.
thing with AJ Brown.
Yeah.
But AJ Brown, like you mentioned, he has the highest grade when it comes to one-on-one coverage in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he also,
I see what you're saying now.
you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I
like,
see where you're coming.
Yeah.
so I don't know how team success is going to give him that leap when he has weapons like Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta,
Jahmyr
David
Gibbs.
Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think at
and
that
Jared
point
Goff.
you kind of just have to break it down and kind of get the percentages on how much Amon-Ra actually contributes to the team success. Because if it's a high
which I'm
percentage,
sure it's a lot.
if it's a high
Yeah.
percentage, then it means something.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean the nothing that we're saying. And the same with AJ Brown. I'm sure AJ Brown might contribute a little bit more to the team success than in Amon-Ra St. Brown. So from that aspect, from that standpoint, I understand what you're saying. But there's also another side to it where we're talking about the best receivers in the game, so they contribute to that team success. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely.
It's not like
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
completely out of the picture.
I think he's in
Oh,
a
no.
good spot too because obviously Amon-Ra, I think he's a top 5. So wherever you want to kind of put him, that 4, that 5, I'm okay with that. But I really want to see what they do this year. Obviously, Ben Johnson's gone on his way to Chicago, so to see, I know they got him and Goff have their chemistry, but just kind of see the way the offense rolls. I know they're a heavy run team. We saw a lot of those trick plays. So
Well, I think we are all in agreement that the top 5 is Chase, Jefferson, AJ, CD, and
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
absolutely.
That's our top 5 wide receivers. But then, we got the last player on this list, as Majid mentioned. It's Puka Nacua,
Oof.
tier 3 wide receiver.
Yeah.
This was
Really-
a little tough, wasn't it?
Really quickly, I just want to remind the people some statistics. He played 11 games last season, and he had 79 catches for 990 yards. He also had 3 touchdowns. The year prior to that, his rookie season, played all 17 games. He had 105 catches. He had 1,400 yards and 6 touchdowns. So, I mean, before people start to freak out, I mean, you could play the stats game with a lot of receivers, don't get me wrong. But those are
pretty big numbers.
If you ask me, those are tier 3 wide receiver numbers.
Think about it this way, too. Let's not even look at the numbers for a second. This guy came in as a rookie and became a wide receiver 1 in Cooper Kupp's team.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't
Enough
think
said.
people really understand how crazy that is.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
we're
then-
not talking about like Cooper Kupp being washed. This guy's at
was
the
the
time
triple
was
crown. It was
2 or
triple
3
crown.
years removed from a Super Bowl MVP performance. Like, he's not a bum.
To add to that as well, I mean, this is Puka going into, kind of his first. I mean, because Cooper Kupp was injured a little bit, but now he's really going into this team
As the
as a solidified wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that like backs down from it.
Hmm.
But I will
Of course,
say,
you got,
Stafford's health is very important here
yeah.
because
Devontae Adams is there now too.
yeah.
Let's remember that.
But we know who
obviously.
the wide receiver 1 is.
Yeah, he's the guy. In
You know
LA
what I
right
mean?
now.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
But that'll do it for tier 3. Tier 4. This was a fun one.
Yeah.
This one.
To start off the 4th tier, we have
Oh,
Nico
shit.
Collins from the Houston Texans. We have Terry McLaurin.
Mm.
We have Mike Evans. And then to round out tier 4, we have Malik Neighbors,
Oof.
2nd-year wide receiver from the New York Giants.
Here we go. Let's
What are you sighing
let's
about
talk,
over there?
Let's talk Evans for a second here. I think the epitome of consistency.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
I think yeah, there's no one that could speak more about his consistency at all. Right? And the guy was it 11 or 12 years straight with 1,000 yards.
Yep.
It's 11.
He's
I think he's
an-
officially tied Jerry Rice.
He's an all-timer. He's an all-timer. Mike Evans is an all-timer, whether you guys like it or not. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. He's playing behind one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, top 10 QB in Baker Mayfield. And even when he wasn't, he was putting up numbers. So, I mean, that tells you a lot. When he had Jameis Winston as his quarterback, for God's
Fitzpatrick.
sake, he was putting up numbers.
I think my favorite part about Mike Evans is he's a touchdown machine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start from 2020. 2020 he had 13 touchdowns. 2021 14 touchdowns. 2022 was a little bit of a down year. He had 6, but that's still solid relative to wide receiver success in the NFL. And then you got 23, he had 13 touchdowns, and then 24 last season he had 11 touchdowns. I mean,
He might have a case for being higher up on this little pyramid.
not necessarily. Not I don't
It's
think
not crazy to say
It's
that.
not crazy to say.
I think tier 4 is fair because the receivers next to him are pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Nico Collins, kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
This Nico one I like because I know we're talking about Puka, obviously the elevation he went missing games. People forget Nico only played 12 games last season and was above 1,000 yards. So
And the Texans fell off a cliff when he
Obviously,
wasn't playing.
exactly. So they started off the year obviously with Joe Mixon obviously playing the way he was, and then they had, like I said, Nico 1,000 yards in 12 games is pretty damn impressive. But then
It's
obviously-
incredible, bro.
and then obviously as soon as both go down, you got the Texans going into a slump, barely winning their division.
I would truly love to see a fully healthy season from Nico Collins.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think CJ Stroud would very much like that too.
Yeah.
'Cause
Absolutely.
It is a absolute shit show over there in Houston,
Yeah.
offensively at least.
Tank Dell.
Mhm. Scary Terry. I don't think we have to say too much about him because we're going to talk about him a little bit more later.
Mhm.
But we do know that he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he's had numerous 1,000-yard seasons in what was a dumpster fire organization before last year,
But ladies and gentlemen, he
Um,
finally has a quarterback.
I think
and
he had-
now he's got a QB exactly. So I think there's not much. We're
13
going to hold
touchdowns.
back a little bit on what Terry McLaurin does, unless you got some
Yeah.
stats, Isaiah.
No, I was just, you can literally just look at his stats and you could pinpoint when he got a quarterback. Like if you look back on this 5 years
hard.
later,
Yeah,
you can look at the statistics. Oh, and you're like, oh, and this is when he got someone who could throw the football.
exactly, bro.
So,
Dude had
yeah.
Sam Howell and Taylor Heineke playing quarterback for him, for fuck's sake.
Mhm.
And then Alex Smith post leg break. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
And Carson Wentz for a season.
Oof.
Yeah.
That one was bad.
The one that stands out was the former rookie Malik Neighbors. Let me just
Love
read
this.
some numbers for you guys here. Last season, Malik Neighbors finished with 109 receptions, which is a Giants franchise record that was formerly held by one Odell Beckham Jr. of 91. He broke that by 18 catches. He also had 1,204 yards in his debut season alongside 7 touchdowns in 15 out of 17 games. He led the NFL last season in targets per game,
I was just going to mention that. He had 170 targets last year.
and he completed 109 of them. And I'm pretty sure very few of those were drops.
Yeah.
I'll be real.
Yeah.
Mind
also, all of this with a gas station cashier as a quarterback.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know, this has nothing to do with Neighbors. You know who the other player that had the most catches in the rookie year as a Giant was?
Shit.
Most catches as a rookie. Victor Cruz?
Your mic.
Your mic.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh my god.
Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham were equal at 91 catches in their rookie years as Giants.
Dude.
Hey,
And that was the franchise record for the organization.
That was pre-injured Saquon for you right there.
That's how sad that organization is. Anyway.
What do we think about
Malik
Russell
Neighbors.
Wilson throwing him the ball now, though?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. This year, like obviously looking at these stats that you guys are reading, obviously 109 receptions, 1,020 yards. I see that 7 touchdowns, which I'm not gonna blame him because obviously we saw who's throwing them the ball. But whether you go with
Mike.
Russ, obviously, or if Jackson Dart starts going up, you know, I think I could see Malik Neighbors having another fantastic year with a lot of more touchdowns.
What do you think of Russell throwing him the ball, Yusuf? All right, Naoki.
All right, tier 4. Oh no, tier 5. Excuse me.
It can't get worse than Daniel Jones, can it?
It can't.
I don't know.
Well,
Ask
I don't know.
Colts-
Daniel
ask
Jones
Colts
won
fans,
the
man.
yeah. He won the starting job.
This is our Colts.
Anyway,
Tier 5.
Tier 5. Isaiah, kick us off on this one, man. You've been letting us take it away.
Yeah,
Kick us off on tier 5, bro.
got you. This one has some of my more like personal favorite wide receivers in the league. We'll start with T. Higgins. He's the first receiver in tier 5. We have a name that honestly I'm not used to being this low, but we have Tyreek Hill in tier 5. I know some of you are probably wondering where he is, but yeah. And then next up we have Devontae Smith as our third, 5th tier wide receiver. We have Drake London, and we have Garrett Wilson to round out tier 5. This one is I don't know. This one's interesting just because of how different it is. Because we have a few wide receiver 2s on here. We have a Tyreek Hill in here who, I mean, talk about a fall off from grace.
Yeah.
I mean, at least statistically.
You have him 100 yards in 4 straight seasons,
Yeah.
and then just drops off to less than 1,000 yards, less than 100 receptions.
We have a Drake London who, you know, kind of came out of nowhere last season compared to his rookie season where he had a lot of expectations. Obviously didn't have a quarterback. He had Desmond Ridder throwing him the ball. And then we have Garrett Wilson who now doesn't have a quarterback. So it's an interesting list through and through, but does anyone have anything to say about maybe Tyreek Hill? I think that's someone who we should talk about because, I mean, damn.
Stay healthy, stay out of trouble, stop impregnating 15 different women,
He won't.
and focus on football, and then get a new quarterback.
100%.
That's
Dude,
it.
I think he has more kids than he had touchdowns last year.
Yes, he does. He has 10 kids
He had 6
with
touchdowns.
10 different women.
He had 6 touchdowns last year.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
He also has more baby mamas than he does touchdowns.
Well, what do you think's going on though? Because he, in my opinion, I think he's the most athletic wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of like what Yusuf said. It's just not just him, but as a team as a whole, stay healthy. You know, he hasn't been healthy. Obviously, dealing with all those like leg, calf injuries, hamstrings.
But he's out there.
He's out there, but it's the same thing. It's like who's throwing him the ball? We got Skylar fucking Thompson throwing him the ball. We got, you know, Tua
Last
throwing
year
up
was a
gang
disaster.
signs and throwing the ball.
Last year was much more of a disaster, though, than I thought it would be. Even with Tua going down, obviously that sucked. But Mike McDaniel was also really bad.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on a very hot seat going into this year.
100%.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
dude, he
realistically,
didn't even have 1,000 yards
Yeah.
in 17 games played. He had 1,800 yards the year before that. That is insane.
We might be
Holy
seeing
shit.
Zach Wilson starting more this season than Tua Tagovailoa.
That's even more depressing.
Just think about
they
that.
got Quinn Ewers as well from Texas. He's
Yeah.
Four
All
for
these
13.
things-
hey, better than Tua. Better than Tua.
All these things you're
Quinn
hearing,
Ewers is
if
not
you're
better than
listening and you are disagreeing with this, if you disagreed at first glance, I hope now after everything we've just said, you understand why he is where he is.
Yeah.
'Cause that's why he is where he is for me.
Yeah.
We have another Eagle. We mentioned him earlier in the show, but we didn't really expand on it.
Yep.
I have a question for the Eagles panel.
Ooh.
Do you guys think that Devontae Smith has truly lived up to the expectations that he had coming into the NFL?
I will tell you this. So obviously, you know, Heisman winner. He's always won every place in his career, obviously from high school to college. I will say Devontae, when you watch Devontae play and you see it's the small things that really catch my eyes, obviously, like his route running, his footwork, his toe tap, like
His physical
his
stature.
physical like he's skinny as hell, talking about can't take a hit, and he's out here making all these acrobatic catches and
Yep.
everything. It's just like, I think it just comes down to Devontae's kind of living in I don't want to say living in AJ's shadow, but it's just like that comes back to what we're saying. The Eagles having so much talent. I think personally Devontae on some of these low end teams could be number one option easily, right?
so?
And obviously on a lot of teams he's clear second option or 1A 1B. But I just think with where he is with the Eagles, I just don't think statistic wise, like stats wise, you're not going to see him. You know,
I'm not just purely talking statistics here, though. I mean, we're talking about someone who won the Heisman Award
100%.
as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like, and got drafted as high as he did.
You got
Yeah.
like sixth.
overall.
That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I beg that question, I'm not just talking about statistics. I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, think about what he had to shoulder coming into the league.
Yeah.
You know, you have an A.J. Brown who kind of took over that wide receiver one
Yeah.
spot and took over fast. But I don't know. What do you think about Devontae Smith? Do you think he's really lived up to his name?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you draft a Heisman winner. You're not expecting him to be a wide receiver too. But given the responsibility that he has, he's the best at it. He's the best wide receiver two in the NFL. I mean, the only other player I can think of that might be on par with him is T. Higgins, right? Like, he's the best, one of the two best wide receiver twos in the NFL. And obviously, they look at his stature, they think, well, I mean, he can't be a wide receiver one. But like what Majid said, you put him in the Colts wide receiver room, he is wide receiver one, right? You put him quite literally anywhere else, the Steelers, you put him where, he starts as wide receiver one, gets wide receiver one targets, and it's not like he can't do it, right? Like, how many times has A.J. Brown gone down in the last couple of years?
Devontae steps
and
up.
he steps up, and obviously, like, what catches your eye is the big plays, right? The crazy one-handed catches, how high he can get up in the air. For a guy that's his stature, his catch radius is absolutely insane.
He's got those long ass arms.
Yeah, and his football IQ, his awareness
shit.
of where he is on the field at odds, his toe taps when he hugs the silence are like absolutely bonkers to watch. But I mean, if you're going based off of just like surface level, like this player won the Heisman Trophy, the first wide receiver to win it, in this century, the only one to do so. Obviously, there's gonna be these all-time great expectations to it, but it's also kind of like, given the situation that he's in, there's a guy on his team ahead of him that is better than him, and given his responsibility, he is the best at it. And I think you kind of have to look at it from the situation that he's in, and based on the situation, he's the best.
And let's not forget, obviously, you said before I kind of throw this towards you, is like Devontae. We've seen many games by Devontae, with AJ even in the game, Devontae getting over 100 yards, 2-3 touchdowns a game. So it's not like just because AJ is there, Devontae's not.
He just does
providing.
it on a much lower volume.
Exactly, yeah. That's kind of the way I kind of look at it, letting know that we're a running team first as well. That's another thing that kind of plays a part with it.
So, 49ers fan, do you think Devontae Smith has lived up to his name that he set
Absolutely.
for himself in college?
Absolutely.
Think so?
I think it's unfortunate that he's in the situation that he's in terms of being a wide receiver too, because I think he knows in his heart of hearts that he is a wide receiver one on many of these other rosters. if not most of these other rosters. With that being said, I don't think that he could have been in a better situation to start off his career than the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is the best thing that could have ever happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
He got a ring out of it. He made his name as one of the better receivers in the NFL.
He got paid.
And I think all that kind of relieves a lot of pressure off him, so that allows him to perform even more. I think him going to a team like the Jags, for example, and expecting him to perform and be the Heisman winner that we all know he is, would have been awful for him.
Yeah.
Right. And you look at a receiver like Brian Thomas Jr., who we're going to talk about later in this tier list. Great rookie year, but what else though? Like, cool, you did great, bro, but it's not his fault.
Yeah, he comes
Feel
from
me?
the wide receiver farm, though.
Exactly.
LSU over
Right.
there.
And that's like that. There's a lot of factors that could have hindered what Devontae Smith is now.
Yeah.
So I think the Eagles, for sure, that's probably the best decision that they've made in a long, long time, aside from Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
I think those two probably are ideal. Like they're cornerstones of this organization.
Well, we got the other wide receiver too in this tier list, T. Higgins. Not much to say on my end, but in my opinion, he's the best wide receiver too in the NFL.
I won't
Actually
argue
put that
that.
out
You
there.
know, obviously, I love Devontae.
It's
but
close with Devontae.
It's
I'm
close.
not saying
That's
it's like
it's like a 1A 1B type thing. Obviously, T. Higgins, you see the stats that he has. We've seen what he's done. Obviously, he earned that contract that he got.
100%.
And obviously, we're talking about Joe Burrow throwing them the ball as well. You know, you see what T. Higgins did coming in.
I wanted him to be a Charger so bad,
Hey.
bro.
But I just think, obviously, we know with the Bengals healthy team, we know what that duo Jamar Chase T. Higgins could do. So I think T. Higgins, well, you know.
Any quorums with my statement?
Nope, not all. I think it's fair for you to say that.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got the other two number 5s. We got Drake London and Garrett Wilson. I
Let's,
kind of jumbled them together because they are on they're on like figuring it out teams. More so the
I
Jets
think,
than the Falcons.
Yeah, let's talk about Garrett Wilson here. I think we were talking about consistency, right? This kid has not missed a game in his 3-year career.
Yeah, I feel like that's not talked about enough.
That is insane, bro. And I've seen him take some fucking hits in his career
He's
so
got
far.
that like Devontae Smith build as well, like that
Skinny,
Bro, yes.
scrawny,
physical.
but athletic
He's an
as
athlete.
shit. He is
He's
so
an
athletic.
athlete, bro. He's played all 17 games in every single season that he's played so far. This last season, he set a new career high in receptions, a new career high in yards, but he also had a career low in yards per catch. He also had a career high in touchdown catches, which is only 7. Granted that he's had
Mr.
half a quarterback.
Ayahuasca.
The most awful QBs
Yeah.
throwing him the ball.
He's had darkness retreat throw him the football more than an actual quarterback. So Garrett Wilson, I'm honestly very, very impressed. Obviously, the numbers don't jump out at you immediately, but he hasn't had less than 1,000 yards in his 3 years in the NFL. It's just the touchdowns. I think not getting those red zone targets, not being able to get all those targets that he may have wanted, and then just the production on every single play. I mean, he went down from 13.3 yards per catch in his rookie year to 10.9 yards per catch last season.
This might shock a lot of you. And we kind of talked about it with the Amon-Ra thing about how because of his situation, he just doesn't have that ability to really be the best wide receiver in football. For Garrett Wilson, for me, I've personally stood on it. I've always backed Garrett Wilson. I mean, he was my handcuff player last year for fantasy. Garrett Wilson is one of those guys for me who, when I look at him play football and I watch him, I think he really does have that potential to be not the best wide receiver in football, but pretty damn close. You know what I mean? It's just he's on the fucking Jets.
Yeah, can't get any worse. That's another thing I have is just like you're talking about obviously 3 straight years of 1,000 yards, but it's like look who he has now. He got Justin Fields throwing him the ball. Justin Fields is probably going to run the ball more than throw the ball this year. Another thing too is just like Garrett Wilson. You're talking about like not getting the touchdowns. I think that's just 2 things. Like, have we ever seen a Jets game in the last like year and a half with the Jets score more than 15, 20 points? It's literally a field goal.
It's been a minute.
It's a field goal machine, you know, on that team.
Yeah.
Let alone obviously Devontae Adams being there. the chemistry that Rodgers had with Devontae, with Lazard, Kurt, like, you know.
Towards the end of the
Packers.
season, Devontae and Aaron were like practically finger fucking each other. The like last half of the season.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah, but like that's how I feel about Garrett Wilson. I would put him higher if I had more to back my claim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about Garrett Wilson. Do we have any thoughts on Drake London though? He is the last player to talk about on this tier.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm a huge Drake London guy. Obviously, we saw what he did to the Eagles week 2. It was a disaster to watch. But Drake London, in my opinion, I'm very high on Drake London. And obviously, we saw the QB situation, obviously, from Desmond Ridder to a washed Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
You know, it would be
Michael
nice
Penis.
to see him. Yeah, Michael Penis now. Hopefully, he can sling that penis around and get Drake
What
London
the
No,
fuck?
it's real shit though.
get Drake
It's real
London
shit.
some passes. You know,
Uh,
I think Drake London has the build, the physicality, speed. I think Drake London all around it could be a really good receiver. Just got to get him the ball.
He's not necessarily the more athletic build. He's just huge.
Yeah.
Like he's like
he's
almost built like a
he's-
tight end, bro.
No,
he's
physical.
an
If you see-
athlete, bro.
If you see
No, I'm not saying he's not an
USC, if you
athlete.
saw him in USC,
He's not that fast. He
he's not
really
fast.
isn't
But
No,
his,
he's
like,
not- he's not
physicality,
fast,
though.
but
It's his
He's
physicality.
physical as
quick,
shit,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
great at
He's
route.
tall.
He's quick, bro. Like I don't know if you guys saw that clip that came out this week of him dribbling a football like it was a basketball.
But you don't see
You
Drake
guys-
London running go routes 3-4
No,
times
but
a game.
I know, I get it, but like that's fucking nuts. Like the guy used to hoop. Like he was hooping, bro. Like at USC, he was hooping.
USC.
He was nice, bro. Like, he's like that. The guy is incredible. He finally had that breakthrough last season. I mean, it was
towards the end of the year.
he
so-
went from 4 touchdowns his rookie year to 2 touchdowns the sophomore
before,
season. He ended up having more touchdowns last year than both of his first 2 seasons combined.
Yeah, I know. I had him in
And he
fantasy.
finally had his first 1,000-yard plus season last year as well. And he played all games. He's only missed 1 game in his career. I think the sky's the limit for this guy, bro.
This is
I'm
another
really
guy
impressed.
like Garrett Wilson who has the potential next season to be even higher in the tier list.
Hmm.
The other 3 guys
Absolutely.
are kind of restricted to where they're at just because of their
Situation.
course,
situation
yeah.
and the circumstances surrounding them. But
Yeah.
Drake London and Garrett Wilson, they could be up next season, even throughout the season when we check back in on our tier lists and we remake them a little bit. But yeah, that'll do it for tier 5. We got tier 6 now. Yusuf, please.
All right. Tier 6, we're going to run through this. We're going to focus on a couple of guys, right? But we'll try to run through this quick. Devontae Adams is the first one on this list. New Rams wide receiver.
Yep.
We've got Lad McConkey.
I love this. I love this one.
Fucking bolting
Isaiah.
everywhere.
Very worthy
There we go.
inclusion.
It's my
can't
fantasy
stop
pick
Also-
2 this year. Fantasy pick 2.
Also got another name here who's been pretty consistent throughout his career, but he made a pretty big impact last year for this team and making it to the playoffs. We got Cortland Sutton. DK Metcalf, the newest Steelers wide receiver 1, who just made the move this past offseason.
Yusuf's favorite wide receiver right there.
Fucking hate him. Rookie sensation, now going into his 2nd year as a Jacksonville Jaguar. We got Brian Thomas Jr. coming out of the factory of wide receivers of LSU. And last but not least, we got wide receiver 1 in Chicago and DJ Moore.
Yes, sir.
Boys, let's talk.
It's a very
Lad.
diverse tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
extremely diverse. Let's talk Lad. Let's talk Lad McConkey, because I think, last year was great considering everything that happened with the Chargers season. New coach, new regime, new system,
Rookie.
rookie, makes the playoffs. Zay, I think you can touch on this a little bit more than any of us. Like, talk to me. What are you thinking for Lad right now?
What I'm thinking for Lad is more targets, because obviously we know the style and the brand of football that a Harborough brother brings to a team. That's not like gonna ever change, but there are ways to involve players more. And I think if you're looking anywhere that the Chargers offense needs to change, it's directing more of an offensive share to Lad McConkey, because what he did on the only 82 receptions that he had, mind you, it started off a little rough because, he was new, obviously rookie. He wasn't necessarily right out the gate, but he had 1,100 yards. He had 7 touchdowns. He had 112 targets, but he had 14 yards per catch, which is very good. And then another thing that people kind of like miss out on for Ladd is people kind of mistake him for like a smaller wide receiver. He's 6 foot, like 185, which isn't necessarily huge by any means, but it's bigger than your typical, when you think of a slot receiver, which he doesn't
You
really
think
like
of Tyler
that title.
Lockett or something like that.
So I think that's something that people also get. His route running is elite, by the way. His route running is really elite.
Yeah.
If you really break down the tape, he can run routes. And then another factor that I kind of want to touch on is the Keenan Allen addition.
I was just going to say that.
That is going to add another level, in my opinion, to Ladd's game. Not just because of the opportunity it'll open up for him, because he doesn't have fucking Down syndrome Johnson on the other side of the field. He has an actual competent wide receiver. So that'll help a lot. But
I think, everything you just touched on, Ladd, another thing people don't look at is like, you were mentioning Ladd obviously in the slot. Ladd is a type of receiver that can play slot and outside end.
No, I didn't want to call him a slot receiver.
Yeah, no, I
when
get
people
you.
think of Ladd,
They
the
think of
general
a
NFL population.
They think of a slot, but that's what makes his
They
game
just think
so.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but that's what makes his game so like elevated. Obviously, knowing that he could play the slot or the outside, let alone like you just mentioned, bringing Keenan back. That's obviously Justin Herbert's one of favorite target. So I just think the respect level that defenders will have for Keenan will obviously take a little away from Ladd. Obviously, having that corner 2 or whoever they'll have on Ladd.
It's just going to create that level of like, there's not going to be very much double coverage.
Yep.
At least from the corners. Probably they'll bring the safeties in a little bit when you play a guy like Justin Herbert, who has now 2 weapons, who he will be throwing the ball a lot to. But it's not so much bringing like attention off of Ladd McConkey. It's more so adding to the fact that it's a dual threat offense now, and I think it'll really allow Ladd to like kind of move into the kind of being an all-around wide receiver than whereas last year he had to play a little bit more than what he didn't want to do.
I think also what comes with this too is just knowing the way the Chargers play.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're more of a throwing team than running team. They've never had really a running, situation. So
that's Ladd McConkey for me. That's wide receiver 1 right there.
Absolutely.
Draft
I
him.
think
He is one of the biggest steals in fantasy.
Let's talk one more receiver in tier 6 before we move on to tier 9. DK Metcalf.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising, but I think this one has a lot to do. Like, there's just quite a bit. Like, first and foremost, we thought he was going to be in that wide receiver room with George Pickens. Then Pickens requests a trade. Then he gets traded to Dallas. Now all of a sudden he's the surefire number 1 in Pittsburgh. The expectations of Pittsburgh and the expectations of DK Metcalf. First of all, let me just tell you what I think. I think DK is one of the more overrated wide receivers in the NFL. That's just my opinion.
Facts.
I'm just going to say it like that. I think the way people were touting him as this amazing guy coming out of Ole Miss and all the expectations that he had compared to what he's done in the NFL, I think there's a major gap.
Well, that's
right?
Seattle's fault for taking him higher than he should have gone. He should have dropped out of the. He should have dropped out of the.
Fair. But he came out looking like an absolute behemoth of a fucking human being. He looked like a tight end, to be honest. There's no doubting his physical gifts. It's just, I've seen him on more than one occasion not only shy away when the lights get bright, but he gets absolutely strapped the fuck up in big games. And it's happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah, he's a hothead too.
He cannot control his emotions. More often than once, he's lost his team the game because he's gotten himself ejected. I just don't see much. So maybe people are saying that.
Do you
this
think
is
a guy
exactly
like Mike Tomlin can calm him down a little bit?
No, I mean he wasn't able to calm fucking George Pickens down. We think he's gonna calm DK Metcalf down.
Oh, I should probably stop.
Yeah.
Tier 6.
Naoki.
What's
Next, yeah.
Yeah. So in the tier 6, we gotta wrap this up. We're almost at 50 minutes already.
No, we're good.
Got it. Naoki, introduce us to tier 9. We're only gonna talk about a couple of guys here, but
Yeah. The guys that we have in this list is Stephon Diggs, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brendan Ayuk, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Calvin Ridley,
That one.
Cooper Kupp, and Zay Flowers.
Right. This was a little tough for us. I'm going to be honest, especially that last spot where Zay Flowers is. I think it was hard.
I
I'm
think
gonna be
this
honest,
is
it
a
was
great
hard.
fucking pyramid.
It's a beautiful pyramid. We'll be real. Let's talk real quick about the first two guys, Diggs and Harrison.
What's my name?
Implications for Marvin Harrison. What are we thinking?
Kyler needs to throw him the fucking football. That's what I'm thinking.
Done deal.
Couldn't
I don't think there needs to
couldn't
be much
agree
more
more.
said regarding that.
Kyler's on a hot seat this year.
Yeah,
So
yes,
He
it
is. 100% he is.
And some people will
is.
hate
Oh.
that, but it's true.
Yeah,
Kyler
bro.
Murray's on the hot
It's-
seat.
it's true.
had Marvin Harrison on fantasy
true.
last year, and just watching those games just pissed me the
It's
fuck off.
infuriating.
Yep.
Just give him
Oh,
the
yeah,
ball.
absolutely.
He's open on like 80% of the routes he does. He has the size.
And with
Yep.
Diggs, for me, the reason why I like Diggs this year, it's Drake May. That's really.
Yep.
I love the
Yep.
emergence of
That's
Drake
right.
May.
Mhm.
And I don't think that Diggs, even with the injury that he faced, I don't think Diggs is going to kind of like digress that much to the point where he's not even considered a top 30 wide receiver. This is kind of like a player who's just earned the right to be there
Yeah.
until he's really showed something to where he's not that receiver.
Yeah.
Because I still liked what I saw in the games that he played for Houston last year.
Mhm. Yep.
I don't know if you
He was
guys
great.
did.
I
I agree.
just
He
think
was great.
for me with Diggs is just more like this is the one thing that I was kind of like hesitant with Diggs. Obviously getting him in there's it's let alone obviously we talked about the injury coming back. You guys know how I feel about Drake May. I love Drake May. I think he's phenomenal. But it's just the idea of also containing like how he acts. Is he going to pull an AB at any point in the year? We know the Patriots' expectations. Patriots are not a playoff team. They're not going to be a Super Bowl contention. None of that.
Yeah, what's my
So,
name?
He got his bag, obviously. That's what most of these players care for. But, is he going to be with Cardi B mid-year and then throw a tantrum, get off the field?
That's the new Taylor Swift, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. So
Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, like Stephon Diggs, there are three other receivers in this tier that are coming back from injury this season or are going to be trying to bounce back. We got Brandon Ayuk, we got Rashee Rice, and we got Cooper Kupp. Three guys who I don't want to necessarily say like their careers are on the line here, but they need to bounce back in a big way this season to kind of remain in that upper echelon of the top 30 receivers in the NFL.
Unfortunately.
Out of those three names of Kupp, Pickens, and Ayuk, who do you guys see actually making that
Rice.
Step.
Rice.
Rice, you said, right?
Oh, Rice. I'm sorry, Rice, Ayuk, and
Cup.
Kupp.
I think Rice takes the biggest step, but I think Brandon Ayuk has the most pressure
Mm-hmm.
on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
You know what
agree.
I mean?
I could not
I'd
agree
agree.
more with that. I think,
We don't even need to talk about the paycheck he got.
yeah, I mean, it's that's a big part of it, obviously. And Cooper Kupp, I think he's achieved basically. He's a triple crown winner,
Yes,
Super
sir.
Bowl MVP. It's like at this point, it's like just stay healthy, just go out and have fun. Like
Cruise through the last couple of years.
the
New
Seahawks,
team,
huh?
Quarterback, new team, new
New
quarterback.
team, new quarterback. Just kind of figure that out. And then with Rashee Rice, I think he has the most to gain from a bounce back season, but he also has the least to lose alongside Cooper Kupp. I think, like Zay said, the guy who was under the most pressure out of those three guys is Brandon Ayuk because he threw that big tantrum last offseason because he really wanted that paycheck. And then
Honestly, he might have the most pressure in this entire
this
tier.
entire list,
Yeah.
if we're really keeping it a buck.
Low key, the entire list.
I think I agree with you guys. I think he has the most pressure for sure. I think there's one other receiver in this list or in this tier that does have a lot of pressure coming onto him this season.
Zay.
Granted that he is the lowest ranked wide receiver one that we have in this list, Zay Flowers.
Nope.
You think he has pressure?
Absolutely, he has
100%.
But
pressure.
does he have expectations? Do you look
There
at a
should
Zay
be.
Do you look at a Zay Flowers and you're like, that guy should be giving me $1,500 a year?
Well,
Well, realistically, no. But at the same time, like if you go around and get a consensus around all the
Can you
NFL
really
and all
have
the
pressure
fans,
without expectation?
there are expectations.
But there should be
The thing is,
expectations.
when everyone looks at you and you get a consensus from all the NFL fans and executives and ask them who the wide receiver one is in Baltimore, they're going to say Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
So those are enough expectations right there.
it's like when you go get a freaking 40-year-old DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
It's clear that that's not
Like
your number
that's a problem. That is a very big problem.
one. Mark Andrews.
when both of your
I think
tight
it's
ends
honestly
like
been one of their biggest problems postseason as well.
Yeah. Not
Oh,
having
it's
a
always
receiver.
been a problem. Like when both of your tight ends and Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely are bigger receiving threats than you are at some points in the season, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You can't go and get me 7 catches for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns one game.
Well,
And you
his
give me
issue,
6 straight weeks of 3 catches for 20 yards.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
His issue is the highs can be really high, but the lows are so low.
Yeah.
It's
Especially for
crazy.
wide receiver one.
He's not a wide receiver one. Unfortunately, he is the wide receiver one, but he's not a guy that he's more of a Tyreek Hill, more of an Xavier Worthy, like a speedster.
You need a solid one on a team with
Yeah.
him.
And he's just not that. I'm gonna be honest. He really is not that.
But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for our wide receiver tier list for the 2025-2026 NFL season. We will have this up on social media as well. We would love to hear your comments, thoughts, anything you'd like to add, any receivers you think we missed. I think we will reserve our honorable mentions for media only. Kind of have like a little spot where they could see that. Because we all did have honorable mentions because obviously it's a big list. There's some names that are going to get left off. But if you would like to see our honorable mentions, you can find that on our Instagram at Street Logic Sports. But moving on. Yusuf, you have a little segment for us?
Yes, we got a
go.
Would You Rather wide receiver edition. I know you guys consist like current players, but I couldn't help it. I think we're gonna go all time on this. The name that I have chosen for this game is Mike Evans.
Oh God.
So
Damn.
we're gonna start off with a banger.
Wait, quick question before we start. If I say I would take a receiver over Mike Evans, does that mean that I'm taking that receiver now, or
No, we're talking all
adding
time.
everything? Okay,
They're all
this is gonna be
time.
difficult, man.
Yeah, bro.
Because
Mike
there are
Evans,
some retired players here.
You picked a wide receiver who has 11 straight
1,000 yard
seasons.
seasons.
Exactly.
A Super
This
Bowl
is why
ring
I'm
to
not
his
gonna make it
name.
easy on
What?
y'all.
All right.
Many Pro
All right,
Bowls.
just start.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Would you rather Mike Evans or Julio Jones?
Fuck.
I'm gonna go.
Naoki, we're gonna start with you.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. I might go Mike Evans.
There.
I'm gonna tell you guys
Not
this.
crazy.
Listen, Julio. I'm not lying to you. Obviously, D-Jack's my favorite receiver. Julio Jones is one of my top 3 favorite all-time receivers. And
I
Julio
fucking
Jones.
love Julio Jones.
I love
bro.
Julio, and I'm fucking hate Matt Ryan and the stupid Falcons team for choking that Super Bowl for him. But Matt, it's hard to ignore. Mike Evans just has it all in a sense. It's like he got the stats, the 11 seasons, 1,000 yards.
The ring was really.
He got the ring. Yeah, the ring is really what just the cherry on top. Let alone you got obviously just the physicality. He's a threat, red zone threat. We talk about Julio being red zone threat. That's a red zone threat, Mike Evans.
Yeah, I'm
Zay?
gonna have to go Mike, man. But it's really hard.
bro.
It's really hard.
I didn't
I
think we were gonna
fucking
get a
love Julio
unanimous one
Jones.
on that
Damn,
one.
bro.
I honestly
you,
thought one
Julio,
of you
bro.
guys was gonna say
Damn.
Julio.
No, I'm going Mike.
All right. Would you rather Mike Evans or Larry Fitzgerald?
Larry Fitzgerald.
I'm going Mike Evans.
Bro.
I'm going Mike Evans. I'm sorry.
Larry Fitzgerald is one of the craziest receivers we've seen. But at the same time, it's just like I can't take Mike.
Larry Fitzgerald had more tackles than drops in his career.
I know, but it's like I took Mike over freaking Julio, and it's like I would have picked Julio over Larry, no matter how much you hate me for that. So I'm gonna have to stick Mike.
Yeah.
As much as
Oof.
I'm going
my
Larry,
goodness.
brother. I'm going Larry.
Fair. I can respect
I
it.
can't, bro.
All righty. This one's an interesting one. Mike Evans or Antonio Brown?
I'm gonna say it clear out. I think take the tantrum out.
Might I add, I think Antonio Brown
Is the
has the
greatest-
greatest peak of any wide receiver ever. The
He's-
greatest
okay.
peak.
Okay,
Easily.
I was gonna tell you
Yeah.
that in his prime. I said take all the tantrum and bullshit he had pre CTE Antonio Brown. I'm gonna say this right now, chat, right on the camera. Antonio Brown is the greatest wide receiver in NFL history in his peak, in his prime.
Easily.
Toe tap, speed, route running, catching, name it all. Antonio Brown had it.
Easily.
Mhm.
But what Mike Evans does differently is he actually shows up to work. So for that reason, I'm going Mike Evans.
Yeah, with all that being said, I'm going Mike Evans.
I'm going AB. I'm going AB.
Fair. I can respect it, boys. I can respect it.
That's the only one receiver.
Alrighty. Would you rather Mike Evans or Terrell Owens?
Ooh.
Damn.
It's a very controversial figure,
Extremely.
and for a lot of us in this panel, actually.
Damn.
Played a Super Bowl with a broken leg. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Mike. I gotta stick with Mike Evans. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm going T.O. Yeah, I'm going T.O.
Probably go Terrell Owens as well.
This is tough, though. But
This
I'm
is a
going
very
T.O.
tough one. This is the tough one, but
Not easy.
Terrell
Not
Owens.
easy, right?
Yep, going
Okay.
T.O.
Got it. All right, boys. Last but not least, all things considered, this last player is a current player.
Oh, wow.
Would you rather Mike Evans or Cooper Kupp? This is tougher than it sounds.
I'm going to say this, okay? And all the LA people are going to hate me for it. I'm going to go Mike for only this reason. I get it. Triple crown, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp doesn't only have a ring to his name. He got a Super Bowl MVP to his name.
That's right.
Okay, Pro Bowls.
That is very right.
Right? That's a huge one that I could see why that just automatically wins it over Mike.
Very small prime, though.
But that's my point. It's the fact of it's the longevity. It's just Mike Evans, 11 straight year, 1,000 yards, and we keep not talking about it. Yes, he had Tom Brady for like 2 or 3 of those years. He has Baker this last 2 years, but let's talk about who Mike Evans had. And we have Jameis fucking Winston throwing the ball. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick. You got God knows who the fuck was on that team throwing him the ball. And the amount of Pro Bowls Mike Evans has been to, I just think the always being there for his team, always there. Look, he pulled his hamstring, should have been out 8 weeks, pushed it through 4 just, obviously probably stat padding for that,
Yeah, trying to get the 1,000 yards.
But, he always comes through for his team. I just think Cooper Kupp not having that long prime, I think that's just for me
Yeah. No,
why I'm
going
taking Mike over.
Yeah, I'm going Mike as well.
Yeah, I'm going Mike as well. It's easy.
Fair
Probably
enough, boys. That wraps it up.
the second greatest wide receiver season of all time, though, from Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll never be forgotten.
Triple crown.
Streets won't
All
forget
right.
that shit.
All right, people. So that wraps it up for wide receiver. Would you rather? We will continue this for every position, I think, prior to the season. But yeah, that is the wide receiver. Would you rather? I think the next one I do will be current players.
Yeah, that would
Just
be
make it a
much
little bit more
easier.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to make it fun for the first one. So
No,
thank you guys.
that was tough.
That was not
Especially
easy.
the Julio
right?
one. I did
The
not
Julio
enjoy
one.
doing that one.
Yeah. Speaking of current wide receivers, we got one Terry McLaurin to talk about. Contract situation. He requested a trade from Washington. According to multiple sources, Terry McLaurin and his camp are seeking $30 million or more in annual average money over his contract. We've also got to talk about Micah Parsons requesting a trade and Trey Hendrickson, who is now being shopped around by the Cincinnati Bengals. Boys, first let's cover Terry McLaurin. We'll cover all of them. Let's talk about possible destinations for every single one of these players, starting with Terry. Where do you guys think he fits in best in the NFL?
Do I really need to say it?
I don't think so.
Do I really
I think
need
we
to
kind of
say
get your drift.
We know where
I
it's
think
going.
we need to catch your drift.
We know where it's going.
I would like to read this though. It's a quote from Nikki, can't pronounce the last name, but it's from Rigo's Rag. It's a quote about Terry McLaurin and his expectations. One person with knowledge of Terry McLaurin's contract negotiations said the veteran receiver has asked for more than DK Metcalf, who signed a 4-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this year. If McLaurin is seeking more than Metcalf's $33 million a year in average annual value, which I think that contract is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That would put him in the top 4 among receivers. If he seeks more than the $60 million Metcalf is guaranteed, that would land him in the top 10 receivers among guaranteed money. If McLaurin is using Metcalf's deal as a benchmark based on percentage of the team's cap, the Commanders' wideout would be asking for more than 11% of Washington's cap. I just want to put that into perspective when we're talking about Terry McLaurin, because I love him, don't get me wrong. I think he is huge for the Commanders, but just keep that in mind.
Let me state this. Is he wrong for asking for more than $33 million? Absolutely. Is he wrong for asking for more than DK Metcalf?
Absolutely
No.
not. Nope.
I am not saying that he's wrong. See, that's where this conversation is difficult. And I think we should knock this out right now because I think it's a good conversation. That's where this becomes difficult for me, because I can never blame someone for wanting as much money as they can possibly fucking get. That is the whole point.
Yep.
Really, honestly, in professional sport, it's to have a successful career and make as much fucking money as you possibly can. That is literally the goal. So I cannot blame him. But you also have to factor in the other side of it, and that is the team aspect. You know, a business is always going to do what's best for their business. And I can't blame them if they look at that quote and they think this guy's bad for business. I cannot blame the Washington Commanders for thinking that. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers' fault for being bad at business and giving Metcalf that money. You know what I mean? It's not the Washington Commanders' fault for not wanting to match that. You know what I mean? So it's a sticky situation because I don't think either side is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's talk numbers here for a second, guys. I mean, I'm looking at Terry McLaurin's numbers here over his career.
It's crazy.
It's a thing of beauty.
No, it
honestly.
is beautiful.
Even for his rookie year, I mean, he had 56 catches on 93 targets, 919 yards, and 7 touchdowns in his rookie year. These are great numbers. Let's not take that for granted. Since then, he hasn't missed more than 2 games in a season. He hasn't had less than 77 catches. He hasn't had less than 117 targets. He hasn't had less than 1,000 yards in a year. And Isaiah, it's funny that because you mentioned earlier in the season or earlier in the show, you could pinpoint the exact moment that he actually got a quarterback. It's very true.
Yeah.
This past season was the first time he's ever had in his 7-year career,
double-digit TDs.
6-year career, that he's had more than 10 touchdowns in a season.
Yeah,
he had 13 last year, which is nuts, bro.
Yeah.
He's had a combined total of 14 touchdowns in his last 3 seasons prior to last year.
So what do the Commanders do?
That's the tough part, right?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting in Adam Peters' seat right now, in my opinion, I'm not offering him more than 28, 29, maximum at the very max. That's just my opinion. I think he's a great, fantastic, amazing, and awfully talented receiver. I think he was one of the biggest keys to, if not the second biggest key to Washington's success last year. And this is also a situation now where you really have to be very careful because you don't want to split this team up after the year that they just had, ruin the chemistry, and ruin the momentum that you have going into Jaden Daniels' second year.
Yep.
And now we're very late into the offseason, so acquiring another receiver at this magnitude is highly unlikely. Like, let's be realistic here. All right. With that being said, if you are going to trade Terry McLaurin, you need another wide receiver that, if he's not on the same caliber of his, slightly under.
Yeah.
You can't afford to settle for less.
Yep.
Something I think applies to this situation very well, especially in Terry's shoes, is it's a quote: "Comparison is the thief of joy." And what he's doing right now is exactly that. He is comparing himself to a DK Metcalf contract, where in reality, if he takes a $30 million per year average, he's still going to be making more money than a lot of the best wide receivers in the NFL. A lot of guys that are higher than him on this tier list that we have, by the way, and players that are rightfully higher than him. So, I mean, I think what he's doing wrong right now is he's using another contract as leverage. And I think that is, if you had to ask me personally what I think is turning the Commanders the wrong way, it's this particularly. It's him leveraging another poor deal, like a very poor deal on the Commanders. And I think that's what's losing him the negotiations right now, if you had to ask me. I think that's why a deal isn't done.
I agree on that because also, like, looking obviously into Terry's situation, like Yusuf was saying, like, right now, obviously, you look at Terry, you can't deny what he's done for the organization.
Not at all.
Last 6-7 years of his career, you know.
He just inked a deal 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So whatever he's done, obviously, since then, he's led to the expectations, or he lived up to the expectations. But it's like going in, it's like Yusuf said, I wouldn't offer him more than, me personally, I wouldn't offer him more than 27. 27 is probably the max for me that I'd offer him a year. But it's like, at the same time, it's like Yusuf said, you need to get a wide receiver, because I look at this list right now, just read you guys a couple of names on the thing. Like, you got Deebo Samuel, obviously, who they traded for. Yeah. But we know Deebo now. Like, he's not the same
fucking
Deebo
offensive lineman now.
Prime. You got KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne's at best maybe a 4th, 5th option.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Luke McCaffrey. We did see a little glimpses from him in his rookie year. I'm not saying he was amazing, but you know, he wasn't horrible. You know, you saw some glimpses. And then obviously they just signed a Michael Gallup. I don't know why he's still in the league type receiver. So, and then let alone Noah
Real
Brown.
Shit.
Noah
Real
Brown.
shit. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like you kind of need that receiver in the same time, because like I don't see Washington having that.
They're gonna have to pay him.
Yeah, you're not gonna have anywhere near the success you had last year without Terry McLaurin.
The more that we talk about it, the more I'm kind of shifting. They're gonna have to pay
100%.
If they want to have remotely the same success that they had last year, they have to. I don't know. Are you giving Terry McLaurin $34 million a year though?
I'm not.
And can you really walk away from that being happy? We're talking about a guy who's turning 30, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me kind of put this into perspective. I think this is something that Terry can kind of look at, and he really should use it to negotiate or be realistic with himself. I'm looking at the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL right now. You know whose name I don't see in here? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes.
You know whose name wasn't in there either for most of his career, if not all?
Justin Herbert.
No, do you need me to
Brady.
say it? Yep.
Brady. Let's, like, guys, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And I just don't know to this day, right? Greed is extremely high.
Yep.
I get it. The ego, the diva status, there's greed involved. If you want to win, and if you want to be part of a successful organization and to have long-term success throughout your career, especially when it's been followed by fucking failure for the first 6 years of your career, sign a good deal, be team-friendly, and win. You're coming off a year where Jaden Daniels came out, probably had one of the best rookie seasons in NFL history.
Which means there's a future to look forward to now.
Exactly.
There's a bright future to look forward to. You're still 28 years old. You've been relatively healthy throughout your entire career. You've had 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. You've proven yourself to be one of the top 10, top 15 wide receivers in the NFL.
Just take the 30.
Take the 25. If they're offering you 30, 28, 29, take the deal, bro. That's the absolute most they can give you while you can contend. Patrick Mahomes, who everyone would agree right now is one of the best quarterbacks we have ever seen ever played the sport.
Yeah.
He might be the most talented player to ever play the sport, and he's not even in the top 10 in contract money in the NFL right now. And you're telling me you deserve $35 million?
It's tough.
Like, let's be realistic.
It's tough. It's tough. This is where the conversation can get a little personal, because we're talking about a guy who's literally just exemplifying his worth to the world, what he thinks he's worth to his business. You know what I mean?
So did Jamar Chase.
I know, but you just think about what Jamar Chase went out there and damn near won offensive player, or he did.
That's my point. This is my point. You didn't do that, Terry McLaurin. You had a great year. You had a career year. And I get it. Again.
But who are we to tell him, don't go get that extra $5 million a year? You know what I mean?
It's just like there's no need. And if you want this team to be built on success, if you want the players that are on your team to develop and become actual good players, like let's say, for example, Luke McCaffrey actually starts to ball out. Next thing you know, he's going to be asking for contract money. And then what? And then Jaden Daniels is still on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
You're
He's
going to have to
he's
pay
gonna get
him in
his
about 2
extension,
years'
yep.
time. Like, there are a lot of factors here.
That's another thing,
And-
bro. 11.8% of the cap will be owned by Terry McLaurin
Yep.
if they go
Yeah.
over the Metcalf deal. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's just
We'll
I have a
end
list
the
here.
let's finish the Terry McLaurin conversation here.
Yeah.
Is Washington better off signing him or trading him?
signing him for what?
Are they better off signing him for
What he wants.
what he wants or trading him away?
Long term? Are we talking long term?
Whatever in general.
It's a very
Like
long
better-
term, short term conversation for me.
It is a long term. Yeah.
Long term, it's a great decision not to pay him.
Yeah.
Because if
Because
anything slightly goes wrong, we're talking about 11.8% of their cap moving forward with a future to look forward to that is now restricted. So that kind of kills a little bit of the future aspect of getting a quarterback like Jaden Daniels. Short term, it's going to really fuck with them because you talked about the talent that they have outside of Terry McLaurin.
and I'm not saying these people are like difference makers in the sense because of the point they're in their career, but it's like you look of the year that Zach Ertz, that's like obviously he's way above 30 now, but the way he performed last year for them, obviously was at a high elite level. Bobby Wagner, which shook me, obviously having the level of career. And then you see, obviously, now they just signed Von Miller. I know Von Miller's 36, but it's like you see the defensive line they have, obviously, with the linebackers, with the veteran presence in the room. It kind of, you get that feeling of they want to win now, signing all these people. So it's like
100%.
signing McLaurin means, okay, yeah, these next 2-3 years with the way your cap is going to be win, chip or bust. That's pretty much what it is.
And that's a toxic way to run a franchise.
Exactly, because you know that, obviously, Jaden Daniels has... If stays healthy, Jaden Daniels will easily have another 15 years in his career.
Yeah.
So that's something obviously.
And do you want to go chip or bust that early in someone's career?
Exactly.
I wouldn't do it. I'm
Yeah.
trading him.
Naoki?
It's a tough call. Like, that's a lot of money for a guy who's, like we said, is about to turn 30. Their timelines just don't add up together, Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. And if you're the Washington Commanders, you can't commit to the Terry McLaurin timeline. Right, you should have capitalized on that 5 years ago. Right, we're about to enter year 7 of Terry McLaurin. You got to get on the Jaden Daniels timeline, and like you said, Yusuf, like, you know, the fact that Patrick Mahomes is not in the top 10 in the highest paid players in the NFL, and that Tom Brady was outside of that for the longest time, you kind of trying to figure out where McLaurin's priorities lie, right? And he hasn't hit that. Right, he's made it very clear he wants to get paid what he believes he deserves to be paid. And that's at the expense now of team success, right? I mean, he coming off of the year that you just had, a year that you just had relatively low expectations. You weren't supposed to make the playoffs, let alone make it to the NFC Championship game. Yeah. You would think that if you're a member of the Commanders franchise, if you're a part of the team, you're like, okay, like, let's run this back. Now we're kind of in a rhythm now. We have now this expectation of being a playoff team, borderline now Super Bowl contender. You would think that you would put your best interest above, below the team's best interest, and I'm just not seeing that with him. And I think Zay said it right. He's using the wrong meter stick. He's using the wrong measuring stick for what he thinks his contract should be. It's like if you're Trey Young, right? You think like if you're just like, oh, look at what Nick Batum's getting paid. Or if you're Derek White, you don't look at what Nick Batum's getting paid. Like, I want to get paid like Nick Batum.
Do you know why it comes off as stupid business? Because it looks like you're trying to take advantage.
Yep.
Whereas you should be comparing what you do to someone who's actually deserved the money and got the money.
Exactly.
You're comparing yourself to someone who's highly
Doesn't
overpaid
deserve it.
Like
and
if
has
he
not
said,
lived up to his
I have a list here,
expectations.
just the top 10 receivers. Like, and Yusuf was saying, obviously that cutoff is 28, 29. Yusuf, that's your cutoff.
Yeah.
Like you see, like someone like T Higgins sitting at 29 million, Tyreek Hill at 30. You start looking there, Amon-Ra at 30.3. So it's like you start seeing those numbers. Okay, you see where he's going from, but it's kind of like you're saying the direction they're going. Like if Terry doesn't want to win and he just wants his bag, like obviously we're seeing the teams that are
there's 15 teams I can name
like
right
the,
now.
The Raiders want him. You got the Patriots that could pay him.
Chargers will pay him.
Chargers could use. I just want to say Chargers. I think that was my number one team on my. On where I think he should go because they need a deep threat instead of Quentin Johnson, So,
God, yes,
yeah, that would be crazy.
Let's move over to Micah Parsons, who his situation is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Bringing home. Bringing it home.
This is more so a complete cluster fuck of a situation at the hands of the front office of Dallas.
100%.
Everything, like it's Murphy's Law. Everything that could have possibly gone wrong in this situation
got fucking wrong.
went completely fucking south. And right now, I genuinely do not see, like Adam Schefter came out this morning.
Said it's done.
And
Their relationship's
like
done.
this relationship is cooked if not this year, then next year.
Yeah.
Like it's over.
Yeah.
There's no way we're gonna see Micah Parsons in a Cowboys jersey for the rest of his career.
Good.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's fantastic for him. I think it's fantastic for the NFL.
Yep.
And I think it's fantastic for all fans because who doesn't hate the Cowboys aside from Cowboys fans?
I don't know
Right.
what you guys think about Micah Parsons. For me, this is very different from the Terry McLaurin situation. In my opinion, I think Micah Parsons has earned whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep.
Yes.
If he walks into a negotiating table and he says,
him
I want this money,
You pay him them.
automatically valid.
100%.
Not saying you have to pay the guy,
Yeah.
but he is worth what he is asking,
What is asking for? It's kind of like a TJ Watt type player in a sense.
Yes.
Like,
This
know
guy
you
is
know
a
what you're for
difference
sure gonna
maker.
get. Yeah.
He is a difference maker.
On the D line.
He changes
Watch.
a defense.
Watch him play.
I'm telling
That's
you.
all I say.
Because he's
Watch
old right
him
now.
play.
I think they're picking up his 50-year option, which is what, like 24 million cap hit that the Cowboys are going to take.
21.
21 million cap hit they're going to take.
That's not enough.
Exactly. So it's like
That's
he's
crazy.
This is a
definitely
guy
gonna
who
play
should
on
not be on his rookie contract anymore.
that. Yeah, he should have been
Yeah.
extended from last year, in my opinion. But
He shouldn't have been on a rookie contract after that second year in the
yeah.
NFL.
But obviously we know how Dallas is. Obviously they want to pay Dak
got
and they want to pay all
fucking
these.
I won't
Jerry
say Dallas.
Jones.
I'll say the Jones family because it's
The
not even
Jones,
just
yeah.
Jerry Jones. It's his dumbass fucking retarded son as well. That
Yeah.
dumb piece of shit.
Yeah.
God, like every time I try to feel some sort of sympathy for the Cowboys, the Jones family further shows me that they don't deserve any.
I just don't. I don't think Jerry thinks that Micah's dick is big enough.
I think Jerry
weird.
still thinks this is like civil rights movement time, like when he was standing at that school blocking those
I'm
kids
tell-
from getting in.
It's just crazy how close the comparisons are to how he runs his football team too.
Yep. I'm telling you,
Slavery?
He doesn't.
Let's just say it.
I can't, but you can.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm saying the way
Jerry Jones is a fucking plantation owner. He is a fucking piece of
Certainly
shit.
runs his business like
he
that.
doesn't.
And
He,
you
he
can
doesn't
see the
watch the game.
ideologies in his head.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Can we use
I
any
can't
of
wait.
this?
till the
Absolutely, we can,
documentary.
and we will.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
I genuinely cannot
'Cause
wait
this is friendly
till the
fire.
documentary.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is from the heart here. I can't wait till the documentary comes out after he dies, and people are talking about like,
Hernandez 2.0.
how bad it was playing for Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear Des Bryant. That's what I want to hear.
He has so many people in his pocket.
Yeah.
It's so odd for someone who has had zero success.
Yep.
Zero success in the
Since the
NFL.
90s.
Deion Sanders won't speak up on him. None of these people. Michael Irvin won't speak up on
We're
him.
talking about someone who hasn't had success in 35 years.
Yep.
That might be worse than the Jets. That
I
might
mean,
be worse.
brother.
Dog.
And this
we
guy
got,
is running an $11 billion franchise. I mean, come on.
we got fucking
fucking
Denzel
shameful, bro.
Washington.
America.
Denzel Washington got on First Take and shamed your ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
America's
It's
team
getting
my
dark,
ass,
brother.
bro.
It's getting dark. Pay him. Pay my whatever
Hey.
the fuck
Whatever
he wants.
because your
Blank
organization ain't
check,
going nowhere.
bro. Blank check. I know they got CD locked up. I know they got Dak on that ridiculous $60 million
Stupid-ass
a
contract.
year deal, but
If you don't get that contract
Fuck it.
situated,
because
we're gonna-
you can get Dak figured out. CD, there's nothing to figure out because he's literally one of the best wide receivers in football. Why not lock up someone who's top 3 at their position right now?
Yeah.
Why would you not want to do that? I know the Dak situation is holding up a lot of money, but you should want to lock up your best players
Yeah.
for whatever they want.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
one, they're happy, and 2, they're the best fucking players at their position.
if Dallas is going, the
It's
way
not
they're
that
going-
difficult.
If Dallas is going the way they're going, we're gonna be start talking about the Dallas being that 4th seed, not the Giants no more. That's
Yep.
what I'm saying. So Dallas got to get their
Well,
shit together.
I think they will be.
I hope. Listen, I
Jerry
hope
on
they trade
his
Micah. Get Micah out my
Bullshit,
division.
bro.
Get Terry out my division. Get Micah out my division. Take
Facts. No, that's big facts.
I'm not saying that he should be with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Even if the Cowboys come to him with the number that he wants, I think
Yeah.
Just from a pride standpoint, if I'm Micah Parsons, I would tell them to suck my dick.
1 billion
legit
percent.
though.
1 billion percent.
Jerry has completely fucked this.
Hey, I'm saying
I wouldn't. Yeah. After that, I would never want to
I'm
play
telling
Jerry
Cowboys
Jones.
fans not to lose sleep over this.
yeah.
Like, bro, he is your entire defense.
Yep.
And you guys don't even have a defense really
At all.
to begin with.
All
So,
I'm
like,
saying-
what are we doing here?
You guys want an interesting team I could see Micah going to, and it would be one of the craziest D lines, young crazy D line, is the Rams. Because we're looking at the money.
That would
Oh.
fuck so.
Bro, because you look at it. Think
Please
about
keep
it.
him away from my
Matthew
division.
Stafford.
Please.
Hey, Matthew Stafford is
I don't
probably
need
playing his
that.
last year this year.
Hey, the
Right?
49ers isn't a bad one either.
49ers is not bad either. But against Bosa, Micah
not
on
gonna
the
lie.
side, that's
Oof.
a good one.
That's tough.
But I'm saying, like, you really think about the cap space the Rams are going to have. Like, obviously, eventually, Puka's going to obviously want to get his money. But you're going to eventually probably have either a rookie QB next year as the Rams, or they're going to have some type of young, you sign Jimmy Garoppolo on a veteran's minimum, and then Matthew Stafford.
hey.
Come over to the Chargers, brother.
Y'all remember that Mike Tyson clip when he was talking to that fat motherfucker? Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. Get your ass over to the Niners. If I see him in red and gold, will be the day that I fucking die a happy man, bro.
Hey,
Oh my-
That'd be a hilarious fuck
I
you to
was
Dallas
seeing-
as well.
I was seeing some clips of
100%.
him, like, saying, oh, if I go back to Pennsylvania, I'd go to the Steelers. I'm, like, looking at him, it's like, I just don't see the fit in Pittsburgh. Like, I know you got
Him
TJ
and
Watt. on one
TJ
side.
Watt would.
It's crazy,
Oh my
but the
fuck.
amount of money. No, that would be probably the nastiest defense. But it just, I look at their cap, it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
no, it doesn't.
like Slay obviously is out of here. This is the last year, so you don't got to worry about paying Slay. But now you go trade Jalen Ram. You go get Jalen Ramsey. They got still. Don't forget they got Alex Highsmith on one side. Alex Highsmith is still a really good edge rusher. So
Dog.
He's a dog. So I just see for the price you're getting Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt is.
I'm gonna be honest though, bro. I don't really like him anywhere that's like cold weather.
Oh,
Hey, he's from
for some-
Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're saying Micah. You're saying Micah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's from
I know he is,
Pennsylvania, so
But
I'm
he's
like, it
played in that
works.
fucking dome
I'm
for
telling you.
the last what
He-
4
He'll
years.
be alright.
I
He'll
say-
be
I
alright.
say we gotta send him to California.
You think so?
Any team in Cali.
I
It just
think
doesn't
I
look.
think he'll
It
be
doesn't
alright.
feel right. Doesn't feel right. To
It
me.
don't.
Hey,
It don't.
You guys
Send
want
him to
another one?
Atlanta.
You guys want another one?
Fuck no.
Las Vegas with Max Crosby.
Oh fuck no. All right, now you need to shut the fuck
I'd
up.
rather.
I'm just saying.
I'd rather do a lot.
Now
of
you ruined
things.
Now
All
you're
right.
ruined.
But yes,
Last-
Michael Parsons should certainly tell the Cowboys to literally go fuck themselves.
Now
He should put the movie
go-
Django on and tie Jerry Jones to a chair and play that on repeat for him until
oh my god,
he trades him.
I don't think there's a lot to talk about the last person and Trey Hendrickson. I just think, listen,
it's the same
Cincinnati-
situation as Micah,
Cincinnati,
if not worse.
pay him his fucking money, Bengals. You guys are not going to do shit defensively without him. The defense was atrocious last
bro.
year. Your O-line, you guys
Atrocious
somewhat
is a
fixed your
fucking
O-line a little
understatement.
this year. Not crazy, but, they drafted a O-line. Obviously, you got that nice D-tackle, the criminal that didn't want any.
I just don't want it to be like a Miles Garrett
his
situation
money.
because Miles Garrett should have easily been gone.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
have left.
Yep.
And he stayed
and then
because of that shit that they said about like do you like the plans they have for the quarterback position? He said he liked it, and now look at what the fuck they got there.
fucking.
I just don't want Micah to sign this deal, the deal that he wants, and the Cowboys give it to him, and then he's stuck with
Trey Lance and
Trey
Dak Prescott.
no, fucking Cooper Rush.
Oh, Cooper.
Trey Lance
know
is
what
a
I mean?
Charger now.
Yeah, Trey
Oh, I
Lance is a
forgot.
Charger.
He's there. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Cooper Rush.
you know what
Holy
I
shit.
you know what I mean? I don't want
Yeah,
him to
yeah.
eventually get stuck because
Yeah.
the Cowboys will inevitably fuck everything up.
He's just gonna be like one of those Dame type players. He's just stuck with your organization.
Yeah.
Can't get out. Can't win.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how I feel about it.
yeah. Trey Hendrickson, very simple, similar situation. The Bengals just cannot
It's
keep a
fucking
good player to save
hilarious
their
how
lives.
Yeah.
clear it is that they need to pay him.
Yeah.
It's so bad because you saw the same
Watching that
situation with
defense come
Jamar
out.
Chase.
Yeah. Well, I don't
In
know
the
what took them
preseason?
so long to pay Chase. Like I don't
you
know who's
saw
running
the
that
same
Bengals
situation
It's
with
crazy what
Chase,
it
and
took.
now
Yeah.
It's crazy what
you
it
had
took.
you had to pay Chase more this offseason because he went and got out a triple crown and an
They
offensive player of
fucked
the year.
themselves
award.
so bad. It's hilarious.
You guys fucked yourselves up.
They could have done the same
bad.
thing with T. Higgins too, because T. Higgins was coming off a
Crazier the year before.
no.
Wasn't
the
he
year
franchise
before
tagged
was,
twice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got franchise tag twice.
but the year he had prior to last season was not good.
It wasn't good. I'm saying if they signed him there, it would have been a lot cheaper.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying because of last year,
They
look
did
what
that.
they paid. I
If
got
they
right
paid
here.
both their receivers last year, they could have a
T
defense
Higgins getting paid almost about $29 million per year.
earned.
Earned, obviously. Don't get it, but
As a
they
wide receiver too,
It
mind
could
you.
have been 20.
it could have been 20, 19, 20.
Chase could have been probably like 30
Yeah,
instead of the
we got Chase at
46
one.
he's making.
Yeah, 40.1.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Goddamn. 40.1.
that's the Bengals' fault,
yeah.
man.
Oh my
That's
god,
called bad
bro.
business.
Yeah, 40.1.
Jesus Christ. Whoever's running that team just needs to
Die.
death penalty.
Die.
Death
It's
penalty.
the Ohio,
Death.
bro. Cincinnati and
Ugh.
Cleveland, bro. And
Yeah.
who their owners
All
are.
right. We'll kind of do a little bit of a contract dispute thing on social media at some other point later on down the line. We do need to wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for joining us. Welcome back to Pick Six,
Yeah, guys,
because
we're
this
back.
is gonna be
Woo!
this is it, bro. Like this is the year.
Baby.
We're excited. We're glad to be back. Pussy. Majid, thank you for being here. Majid's gonna
appreciate
be
you guys.
Yeah.
he's gonna be
Welcome,
part
man.
of the
Thank
team
you.
now. You guys will be seeing him hopefully every single week.
It's gonna be fun.
Shout out to all you guys that have been interacting with us. Just
Fantasy
be
is
ready,
coming.
be patient.
Fantasy is coming.
Fantasy
One more
football
week,
will
one
be
more
coming
week.
soon. We're gonna be talking about a lot more topics. Trust me, it's not just wide receiver stuff. I promise you guys will get into everything else.
We're in the lab. Trust me.
Yeah, we're working on things, but feel free to check out our socials. Check us out on Instagram, Threads, TikTok real soon. That's
We're
coming.
on video as well, too, guys.
We're on video
Yep.
now too, so you're gonna see us on YouTube. We're gonna have a lot of Instagram shorts coming out, so just be on the lookout for all that new stuff. A lot of interactive stuff on our Instagram as well, where you guys are gonna be able to comment,
Yep.
kind of speak your mind, show your opinion, and that's pretty much it for today. So this is episode 1. We're gonna be back for next week for
Let's go,
episode
let's
2.
go.
Like,
sir.
comment, subscribe, follow, share, all that beautiful shit. Shout out to Naoki. He's gonna be editing all this stuff for us as always.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all for being here.
Help me.
Season 2 on the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. Yo.
Deuces.